go. Here we go. I think... Can I do things on this one? Hello, everyone. What does that button do? Don't want that. Yeah, I think this is our live. It would be sweet. What does that do? Chat filter? No. Guess we'll just see how this goes. Oh, my hair is a disaster. Hat time. Hat time, folks. Let's go. Join me as I freak out about life and Kickstarter stuff. I wish... Don't take me, these beautiful things that I love. Do I need a pose for like... I don't know. I feel like I see people do this. Finger guns. Oh. $57 backers. 57 backers. Got another Earl. The Earl seems to be the best one. 9 mats, about 10 mats. These guys get mats too. How many games? How many games are there? Please take me, these beautiful things that I love. Please take me, these beautiful things I know. 19 days to go. Average backer of 57. $70. Welcome to the stream. Welcome. Welcome. 70 times. Oh, so this is saying I need double the amount. What I need is another Emperor. Emperor would just give me there right now. think this is as fun as... It's not our people, Breeze. Go lay down. It's not our people. Oh, hey, look at that. One step further than I ever thought I'd be. One step further, we got another Duke. We got another Dice Goblin Duke. We got another Dice Goblin Duke. Let's go through it again. So, we got two people that just did it to help out. We got 20 Dice Goblin Peasants now. We have two just standard Dice Goblins. How's it going, Chags? As I'm saying that right. How's it going? Welcome. Going over the Kickstarter tiers that have been... I made a board game. This is the board game. I don't know if you've heard of this, if you're from my subscribers or not. It doesn't tell me, actually. But running a Kickstarter for this right now, and we've named all the tiers you can back different Dice Goblin things. So starting from the lowest, there are Dice Peasants, Dice Goblin Peasants, just the standard Dice Goblins. We got two just normal Dice Goblins. We have 18 Dice Goblin Earls. We have 11 Dice Goblin Dukes. Yeah. We have 4 Dice Goblin Kings, and currently we only have 1 Dice Goblin Emperor. That is actually a limited resource right there. There's only 9 of them, I believe, we've made available for the general public, and pretty crazy. We got 58 backers so far. We're 86% funded. We're shooting for 4,000. I wonder. Let's try something. Oh, up. Quick question. Thinking of trying to self-publish a game. Oh yeah. Oh, let's turn this around. Let's see what you're saying here. I'm trying to self-publish a game on Kickstarter. I don't currently have a platform, but would you say the best way is to go about getting publicity and backers? Also, really cool game, by the way. Thank you. Have you played the game? Generally, what I actually just picked up this game. This isn't like a paid thing at all, but the top 10 mistakes new board game designers make. I feel like I've already learned everything this says, but one of the very first things it talks about is not keeping your game a secret, being public about it, talking about it very vigorously with everyone, and building your audience. It's part of the reason why I'm on here, right? To try to let people know that I'm even doing this at all. And it because even if you end up getting picked up by a publisher, they want you to have an audience, because the bigger draw you have, the more successful the publisher will be, and the more successful you'll be. So I would try to be public as soon as you are for sure you're going to run it on Kickstarter. You can actually submit it to Kickstarter so you can get a pre-launch page going and start gathering those followers on there. We ended up having about 212 before we launched, and some people say those are rookie numbers. Some say you should be in the 2000s before you launch, but I don't got time for that. So, especially with this base game being already in existence, we'd run out of them, and we need to get them out to people. We're starting to get quite a few people asking for some more. So we decided to run the Kickstarter for the expansion. But yeah, have you played Dice Fights, or is just the look really bringing you in there. You can kind of see my board game decorations there in my house. They're all different board games. Olympia right here. That was a Kickstarter find for me. Really enjoyable game. I enjoyed it. It's about like fighting off dragons in a land infested with dragons. Really enjoying that. I haven't played the game, but I've seen how to play, which looks cool. Yeah, I mean, if you're a dice enthusiast or a dice goblin, as we've brought up earlier, it's a it's a given. It's so light and easy. Learn it in less than 5 minutes, 15, 20 minutes to play. 40 dice in the base game. Start with 5, and as you go, you get more and more. So yeah, it's pretty fun. It's not gonna really fulfill the need of those like really thick games. Like this is a light and easy game for sure. Uh, Particularly by creating a game with meaningful decisions with lots of randomness. Yeah, some uh, that I think that's a part that people tend to misunderstand with dice fights. They're thinking because there's dice that they're not really even playing a game, right? They're just rolling dice and it's completely random. But yeah, I think we've found a good way to bring a certain amount of like decision making, just like you said, to the table. And like there's a reason why I can beat a lot of people that I play. It's if it was pure luck, that wouldn't be the case. Uh, but that luck is still in there. Like, but just because you roll dice in Dungeons and Dragons doesn't mean uh, it's not meaningful, right? So, uh, but yeah, good thoughts, Jags. I don't know how to say that better, but ba ba da ba. We're looking for some more Dice Goblin emperors to enter the chat. No referral code. Oh, that's actually something I was going to try to look into today. Yeah, you're very welcome. Ta-da, ta-da, ta-da. I'm like going through and answering, solving some problems I've been getting throughout the day. So, just wondering how long did it take you to amass your 1.2K followers? A little while. A little while. I probably started trying to start getting followers like 5 years ago. Then I dropped off, and then when I started uh, Woodstock Games in 2022, that's when that was late, like December 2022. I really started going after it. I've probably gotten half of those. I got half of those in like the past 4 or 5 months, and then the other half over that 2.5 year time period. So, yeah, it takes some time. Really just, and I think what I do is when I go to farmers markets and conventions, uh, which I think is the conventions part is at least a must when you are starting out to build your audience, getting like little booths and promoting your game. And I would sell I would sell dice fights there, and what I would offer is if you followed a social media, you could roll a d20 down the dice tower we have there, and whatever you rolled, you'd get that percentage off the game. And so it ended up being a really cool thing where I amassed, I kind of like brute forced a lot of followers that way, but they all were my customers who had bought the game. So I think sometimes those at conventions and things that like make you follow, they aren't very good followers, but because they all enjoy the game, it ended up being pretty good for me. So, so yeah, great questions. Great questions. Don't forget to like the stream. I think you can like tappity tap tap helps kind of bring some more people in there if you desire. Uh, but thanks so much for commenting and asking questions. It makes this go a lot faster. Uh, no, I don't. I don't think so. Depending on your level of comfort, you can go uh, a lot of different ways with it. Like, I've decided personally to kind of be like the branded face to it and like getting on live streams and do that. But I think that's partly just because like I've done theater and I enjoy the content creation and I wanted to kind of be a content board game creator on top of make board games. Where like my wife, who is equally as involved, she is very rarely seen, and she doesn't really have the desire to be. So a lot of people actually use Tabletop Simulator. That is a pretty useful tool because then you can like show and play your game online without actually having to do that. There's actually quite a few board game people. So there's a source on Facebook called the Board Game Design Lab. It's a Facebook group. It's got like 20,000 members that all a lot of board game designers. And so you can get in there, ask questions, ask what's going on. Uh, really awesome community. Uh, and I actually have talked and associated with a lot of those guys, and I have never seen them in person. Most of the time, it's just like texting over instant messengers of some sort, and very rarely do I phone call with them. So, um, but and I know some board game designers that like because going to conventions is pretty important for building your audience, they'll actually there are people out there who will like take your games to conventions for you and promote your game. So you definitely don't have to. Ba-ba-da-ba. Really great questions. I really enjoy questions and things with that. Uh, Gonna be in trouble. Double, double. Dun, 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 dun. God, that song stuck in my head now. Ear, five. Do you think it's wise to try to pay someone for an existing audience to review my game before I launch? So, um, I'm thinking. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, so for example, it's very common that you'll go to YouTubers or content creators that have this big audience, and their whole thing is board game reviews. They're part of the board game economy. It's almost necessary to do that with, especially for your very first one, because people don't know you, they don't know if they can trust you. And so if you go with a trusted source that way, they can kind of help give you that credibility and trust. So I think it's a great idea to do that. Let's see here. Did I get that question right? Uh, my account dashboard, key metrics. Yeah, that's great. Also, uh, so just wondering, how much do you think I should offer to pay someone to review my games? That's a hard question. There are board game. I went to a convention in New Jersey, and I was talking to another guy that I thought I was on the same level with. He's like, "Yeah, our board game, our marketing budget for the Kickstarter we're about to run is right around $50,000, right? And probably 10K of that was just going to different reviewers, right? I do not have that much money. I uh, I think the first time I ran my Kickstarter, this is round two. The first time I ran my Kickstarter, I think I spent like $50 on ads and for people. Uh, you can get people to do it for free, but you kind of need to create those relationships uh, because they like to make game and uh, they wanted to uh, yeah, they essentially wanted to help. Oh, and he's gone. Sweet. Send email. Try email marketing for free. Burst your business. Hey guys, how's it going? Talk about board games because we're bored about games, and so we're on YouTube. Yeah, let's download that. Let's check on the Kickstarter. So right now, guys, we have 58 backers on our Kickstarter. Exciting stuff. Also, how do you get someone to manufacture your game? Um, More lives. Yeah, I figured I'd do another live before the kids and family get back. And a lot of people are getting off of work, so here we are. But manufacturers, how do we get manufacturers? Um, at first, it's a little intimidating. You generally have to go overseas. There are some people in Canada uh, that kind of have that relationship for you, but generally you just got to start emailing them. I tried to go through Alibaba for the first little bit. That's basically like Amazon for manufacturers, and I didn't have a lot of luck with that. But once you start getting on Kickstarter and things like that, I actually get bombarded with different manufacturers reaching out to me being like, "Hey, can I make your game? Can I make your game? Can I make your game?" I'm like, "Please stop. Stop." But at the very first, it was not that way. My very first manufacturer I used, they were nice, funny games, super great for first time. They're a little bit more expensive, but they drug me through the process to get me to the end, right? Now I'm using long pack games. That's the same guy that Brandon Sanderson, Jake, used for his TPRPG. I think I'm saying that right. His Mistborn Cosmere Dungeons and Dragons game. That's the manufacturer that's doing that. That's the one doing my game. So they are huge, super intimidating. If I tried to go straight with them, I don't know if I would have gotten to the end of the project because I would have been like scared away. But uh, but nice, funny games. They really like it's a more small mom and pop manufacturer in China. So he's like he'll get you to the end. We were asking so many questions, and I remember we were like, "Yeah, let's go," and he'd be like, what are you talking about? That's not how this works. It works like this." Oh, okay. The good old days of not knowing what's going on. I I still have no idea what's going on, but at least now I'm more aware of it. Uh, but but yeah, really just trying to get involved um with the community, and they'll help you through it. They will help you through it. So da 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 da. Boom, 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 boom. I'm gonna get like sued or something for singing that. Thanks. Should I get all the manufacturer stuff stored after the Kickstarter has been backed? Hmm. I think you're asking if you should like use a distributor or whatever sorted. Oh, that's not how I do it. Some people will run uh, a Kickstarter, get the money, and then figure it all out. I can't live with that kind of stress because you don't know what you don't know. Like, you don't really have the true price of the game until you go through all of it with the manufacturer. Uh, like, get prototypes sent to you. You want prototypes, they're expensive, but they're a lot less expensive than 2,000 games, right? Um, so I don't think it's gonna let me do this. Sorry, I'm multitasking here, and I'm only being slightly good at that. Let's go over here. Yeah, so have that all settled. Basically, go through a whole sample of getting your prototype, and then at that point, you'll know what everything's going to cost. You'll know what roadblocks you're hitting. Just finishing a prototype from start to finish will really let you know what you're missing and what's next. So, difference between the quoted price versus the landed price. Uh, I'm guessing you're asking what the difference between those are. So I will tell you. I will. I think I know. So quoted price is just what it's gonna take the manufacturer to make your game. The landed price is what it's gonna take to make the game plus how much it'll take to get the game to you. That when it lands at your doorstep, that is the different that is the landed cost. So uh and that normally most board game designers will price their games, or should price their games, six times whatever their landed cost is. So let's say it's $2. Your landed price is $2. You should be charging right around $12 for that. Um, and so that's why it's so sketchy to go and like get run a Kickstarter before you have all that done, because like you may have it in your mind, this is a $30 game, so you run a Kickstarter, it's $30, and then uh, when you go through it, your landed cost ends up being $10, so you really should have charged $60. So now yeah, that probably wouldn't be good that way, but yeah. Hey, it worked. These beautiful things that I love. Do I have to start a business before I start? No, no. I started Woodstock Games LLC right before I ordered 500 games, right? And some people never start the business. If you're the sole owner, you don't even have to. It's more of just like a liability shield. And I'm by no means like a lawyer or anything, but uh, you could basically be all the way through the process before an actual business is needed. I do write off every board game I buy, because I need to buy board games and to be relevant. So it's very much a legitimate cost, but it as well as everything else, I want the tax benefits of it. So, random question: have you heard of a band called Lawrence? Isn't that who I've been singing? Uh, don't hear these beautiful lives that I live. No, no, wait, maybe. Let's take to YouTube. Let's see. Lawrence. Oh, this is like gospel rock almost. Uh, the acoustic-ish versions are always the best. I hadn't heard of that band, but it seems pretty neat. One thing that I'm so weak on is just marketing in general, and like email marketing. Am I really supposed to gather people's emails? Is that relevant anymore? Do I have to do that? But everyone's saying I do. Ugh. Should I email all these people? I hate getting emails. Do I have to? Do I have to email people? Yeah. Oh, yeah, Jake, we decided to go vertical on this one. Don't forget to like the stream, everyone. Only robots don't like the stream. Um, but yeah, yeah. Hit me with some more questions. I was liking this question back to back. It's a brother sister duo, and they both have incredible voices. The girl kills it. Yeah, like the vocals on that. There's like the one that I just pulled up. Really pretty solid. There's like 8 people harmonizing. Like, whoa. If I were to go with a publisher instead, do you think they would be guaranteed to change the artwork of my game? I just say this because my god sister is a great illustrator, and it would be a shame. Um, it depends. I would say so. For me, I'm trying to gather my thoughts on this one. Um, I Some publishers will most likely want to change the art because they want it to fit the vibe of all of their other games. And some of them realize the art is a very expensive part of game development, and so they'll actually be really excited that the art's already done. But it'll be on you to try to find the publisher where your art style and game actually fit the publisher's vibe. In Woodstock Games' 5-year plan, we are going to be doing this Kickstarter. After this, we're going to be doing Terraform. And then after that, we will actually be seeking submissions for us to publish someone's game and go from there. And I would really like the art to be, if not close to done, all the way done, because it's not my forte, all the art stuff. So, um, and it's expensive. So, but depending on how much control you want to keep versus how much control you want to give away is how much money you'll get up front and how much royalties you'll get as the game goes along. If you are very unwilling to change anything, you will generally get less of a royalty and money that way. But it kind of depends on the dynamic, and contracts vary wildly in the publishing industry. But anywhere from 5 to 15% is what I'd say of gross sales is what you should try to get. But people like Hasbro will only give you like 1.5%. So, uh, but yeah, I'm not the most expert in this, but I guess I have been doing it for a couple years. So the I just really want to uh, try to get to 4,000 before the end of the day. Like I want to hit funded on this Kickstarter before the end of the day. If we can hit that before the end of the day, uh, we will skyrocket to the moon. Um, if I did go to a publisher, would I lose access to the IP if I wanted? Oh, most likely. Yeah. Most publishers are going to lock that down. Why would they pay you for it just to have you be their competition in the future? Uh, so yeah, but that all comes down to like contracting later on. Like, but yeah. Were there any parts of this project that you were originally excited about but ultimately had to scrap? On the dice fights side of things, I would say yes. Well, yeah. Well, I guess something that could happen on this campaign, right? We're doing these really nice mold dice. I don't know if you've seen them, but they're like the engraved nice dice. And every single custom dice is costing like $500 to $1,000 per custom dice that we make. And in this, throughout all the games, with the D20, D30, D4s, D6s, another type of D6, 6 other types of D6s, it's very expensive. And so in the campaign, we're only giving 2 class dice, and I really want all 6 of the class dice to be in it, but could ultimately need to scrap due to budgeting. I might need to cut costs to make it a reality. I really wanted all the dice to be of the same material, which is acrylic. I really like the look of those, but they might end up being resin. Um, so we'll just have to see how that pans out. Uh, I almost didn't have the roll to box feature in there, but I kind of fought for that one, and it ended up being a pretty big selling point for the board game. Dice fights, roll the box, boom, 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 boom. Yeah, I wish I could share my computer screen with this mobile vertical shenanigans, which apparently I can if I get programs and do it, but I am just not technologically. Just wondering, do you know if the Nice Funny Games manufacturers were ethical? Um, I believe they were. Like, I knew the owner personally. He's the one that you're most likely gonna work with, unless he's grown, which I hope he has. We'd often talk about his kids and what's going on. They'd go on camping trips together. He'd send me pictures of like the factory that the things were going on. It was always really clean and nice. And they're just, he was in there doing a lot of the stuff because it was a really small company. Um, so without getting into like the specifics on what you think is ethical or not, what gave me a lot of peace with going overseas was how open he was to showing me the things, and how much I knew the owner and how much he personally was working on a lot of things. So I think it's kind of like in the US, when you work with a small business, you know what you're getting. And when you work with a really big business, like, is Amazon ethical? I don't know. I don't know. In this specific scenario, I would say Nice Funny Games is more ethical than Amazon is. But the laws in China are very different. So, yeah. Interesting question there. I like that one. That being said, I order a lot of stuff off of Amazon. So, Amazon gods, do not strike me down. I but check that there was no child labor. Yeah, I don't think so. I think a lot of the child labor stuff isn't for the board game industry. Sadly, I think a lot of that's for like I would almost. This is just free flowing thought coming off my head. So like, don't cancel me, folks. Anyways, they're probably like in a coal plant and like textile stuff that way. Board game industry, they like I feel like the industry as a whole is pretty like against that stuff. Like the fact that you're asking about that means that they know that like we're gonna freak out if we find out about that. So a lot of the child labor stuff is unfortunately in a much harsher environments where the public eye won't get to them. Uh, but in a way, like it'd almost be good if the kids worked in a board game factory versus like a coal plant, which that was wow. This has got morbid for me there. Yeah. So board games, Flamecraft. That's That's a cute, fun one. But yeah, hopefully that kind of makes sense. I'm by no means support that stuff, but it does. Different countries, man. Like we live in a great place, and man, I am just accidentally just going into minefields of things that way. But yeah. Anyone played Gnome Hollow in here? Just met the designer of that Ammon at a Protocon the other day. He's got a Kickstarter going on right now called uh, Twinkle Twinkle. But yeah, Flamecraft. uh, caught on to that, did you, Garrett? Uh, but yeah, really cool. Really good game. It's light, easy. Um, like it was a little involved at first. Like learning it was rough. I had to do two separate playthroughs to get all the learning done. But once I learned it, it was really good. It was something where you could like chat with people as you play, which I approve of. That's kind of why I like Azul a lot because you can just like chit chat while you do stuff. Uh, but they are coming out with another game, Ammon, another game he's designed called Twinkle Twinkle. It's space cats, and you make like in space, you make new constellations and stuff, which is neat. You check it out. Really cool. But uh, but yeah, really awesome things. What are some of your guys' favorite board games? Ba, ba, ba. Asking for a friend. Epic. Epic. Let me see here. Let me see here. Just learned and played the Mass Effect game. Ooh, that sounds really fun. That Mass Effect, like the video game, is it the same IP like Mass Effect, Mass Effect? Because the video game, I never personally played it, but I always went over to people's houses and just watched them play it. And man, I could watch that for a long time. Hey, we got another backer. 59 backers. Let's see. What did they do? They're a Dice Goblin peasant. Uh, uh, I was just wondering if I got my game to a publishable level, would you ever be open to reviewing it? If you don't mind me asking, how much would you charge for a 5-minute review video? I'm unsure. Uh, Most likely, that's kind of newer territory for me. Most likely, uh, what I would do is if you have a copy of it, you send it to me. I kind of review it. I don't want to review things on my channel that I don't personally like. I'm not saying I wouldn't like your game, but I don't want to do really negative reviews. And so because of that, I don't really feel good like taking money to do a review because then I'm kind of forced to do a positive review. But I would, like, if you gave me a copy and I reviewed it, I would give you feedback if I didn't like it and I felt like I wouldn't want to promote it. And if I did like it, I would just do the review. Uh, that's probably going to be my MO as I grow and people are wanting me to do things. Is that a good MO? I'm still kind of brainstorming if that's a good way to go about it or not because there has been some drama in the board game community for board game reviewers who like uh will like threaten people with money, like give me money or I'll give you a bad review, and that's no good. Yes, they made it into a more of a comprehension mission game, not like a big epic game, but I'm sure has the feels. I love the video game. Awesome. Yeah, I'm gonna have to check it out. I've been playing a lot of lighter games because that's what my beloved wife will play with me. But anytime that I can get a group together and do one of those thick games, I love it. So I'm gonna have to check that out for sure. All right, thanks so much. I really appreciate it. Anytime. Honestly, if I'm ever in a live, pop in, ask me questions. This gives me things to do. Uh, Kind of helps promote, helps gets my watch time up. So hopefully I can get to monetize land one day. And yeah, check out the Kickstarter, guys. Throw the likes. Slap that like button. Yeah. Woo. Only robots don't like the stream. Yeah. Okay, is that is that what people in lives are supposed to do? Um yeah, 59 backers. For some reason a little part of my OCD heart just cringes when I'm at like 49, 59. Well, 69 is okay, but 79, all of those, like when it's barely ready to take over, like anxiousness just like creeps up. Like I just need it to finish. Uh, so yeah. So if you haven't backed the game, you'd like to, that's great. Thank you so much, man. God bless. I should probably go as I have homework, but take care. Absolutely, absolutely. What games do you and your wife like to play? My wife is the same way. Thank you for subscribing. That's so nice. Thank you. Um, Bye. We'll see you later. So she actually liked Gnome Hollow, by the way. So that was a pleasant one. She really likes Ticket to Ride, which is a classic, but a little. She loves Azul. Um, Basically, she's on the lighter end of things. I think she's slowly breaking into heavier things. We've been really enjoying a game called Long Shot, uh, which is like a dice game where you're like betting on horses going. Matches from Thing 1 2 games. That's another uh, favorite one. Uh, Oh yeah, all of the spans we've really enjoyed as well. Stonemeyer games, choice, choice. Stonemeyer games. All right, alrighty. So yeah, yeah. Let's see here. These beautiful things that I love. Take me. Hey folks, welcome to the stream. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Just anxiously watching our Kickstarter. How do you balance simplicity versus depth? It's a great question, Jake. I think it really depends on who like your target market is. Like, um, one in the top 10 mistakes new board game designers make. They One of the mistakes they talk about is making it too big, making it too big, and I think it's kind of like in any like RPG where there's weapons and armors that you're just not a big enough level enough to do. As a designer, we're kind of that way as well. Like chewing the big stuff, you're just not ready to take on that thing. And so, but because a big part of my audience is now dice fights, which is a really light and easy, learn it in less than 5 minutes, right? Now, if I want any of those guys to play my future games, they kind of need to be pretty close to that. And so, like, even when I was coming up with the expansion for Dice Fights, the Healer Steel, I went hard at first. I was like, I had a bunch of spell cards made where like you combined the different dice to as components to cast different spells that different did different things. And honestly, it was a sweet game. I'm probably going to make another game that is something like that, but it didn't fit the vibe, right? And so I kind of had to bring it down to a level. So how do you balance that? It's really like because some people just like them thick. They like them like they like going through the complicated nature of it, but you also need it to like in my head, if it takes longer to set up than it does to play, it's too complicated. That being said, Twilight Imperium, you're going to take 2 hours setting that up so you can play it, but it's going to take you 16 hours to play it. So, like, and that's got a weird cult following. People love that game, and I think that's a pretty good. How do you structure and plan playtesting? Really, I'm just begging my friends to come play games with me. Uh, I feel that quite a few of them are like, "Oh, I don't want to play your games," uh, and so sometimes events like ProtoCon that I just went to, it's specifically for board game designers with new games to come and play testers come and play non-existing games. That's a really good one. Uh, I really encourage my playtesters to try to break my game as much as possible. Something that helped with dice fights was the ability to like put it into a program and have it run the scenarios of like what's the winning strategy, and that really helped the baseline of balance. Could you in the future take this game to an adventure game type? Ooh, I'm kind of thinking this could be like a Dice Throne adventure thing. I haven't played Dice Throne. I need to. A lot of people, I've had people come up to my booth and go, "I'd rather play Dice Throne," and they walk away. I'm like, "You don't even know me." But but I think uh, I don't think this dice fights would really get to the adventure things. I might have like an offshoot that kind of goes like one of the things that's kind of bumping in my head, and maybe this is Dice Throne, maybe it already exists, because I really liked the idea of kind of having your dice rolls be your cantrips, like those little things that your dude can do. But if you like save it up, you can do something big. So I could see me taking like the 6 classes I put in this, and then I kind of do an offshoot of like, hey, here are these 6 classes you can choose from. Here are their specific dice and their spell cards slash ability cards that they could do. And I think that would be a good way to kind of pump it up a little bit. I'm still got there. Frantically using dice fates to try to learn how to develop Unity. The core mechanics would be incredible in a roguelike. Huh. Interesting. Uh, yeah. But let me know how it goes because I the thought of going to like a video game slash app for dice fights or something like that sounds super fun. Like a fun adventure to go to. A little overwhelming. I am not that technical of a man, as you know. But yeah, let me know if you get something, or if you just want me to playtest something in Unity. I don't know how that works. Do you playtest in Unity, or do you? Wasn't Muck made in Unity? Uh, Love mucking around in Muck, for sure. If you haven't played Muck, you should. Uh, that sounds badass. I'd buy that. We love dice fights, especially while camping. Uh, it won't blow away. Oh, awesome. Yeah. So yeah, sweet. That's good to know. And I believe I've seen you back the campaign already. Right, Garrett? Are you? I'm pretty sure you have. Not to like call you out if you haven't, but I'm pretty sure I already saw you back it a while ago. I think Garrett H. Oh, you're a dice goblin peasant. Um, which we love. We love the peasants. Tell me, as a dice goblin peasant, how do you feel being a dice goblin peasant? Because we were a little nervous that people would be angry at us for making that the backer tier, uh, but yeah, enjoy that. Really excited. Uh, the new base sets kind of are pretty and nice, but they're the same thing. They're just pretty and nice, right? So, uh, two sets of the Dice Goblin Peasant. That's nice. Uh, I'm really hoping that Garrett didn't just get angry and go away because I said he was a Dice Goblin Peasant. Doesn't bother me. It's funny. Oh, thank goodness. Thank goodness. I honestly, it's been giving me a little like acid reflux. Like, oh no. Uh, a huge amount of games are made in Unity. I have made it as far as getting both sides dice. Ooh, I'm dyslexic. This is so hard. I'm reading it. Both sides rolling dice working. Then it starts breaking, then trying to calculate damage in later rounds. Ooh. Yeah. Yeah, sometimes people are sensitive, but you don't know what they've been through, right? You don't know. Like, I try to be empathetic, especially as like a public platform for things, right? I don't want to ostracize someone, but Dice Goblin Peasant is hilarious. And I'm so stoked that there's a Dice Goblin Emperor among us, you know? Like, maybe not in this chat, but Dice Goblin, I think it's almost fitting there's only one Dice Goblin Emperor, even though I would like there to be more. Uh, yeah, yeah. And we love that for you. We love uh, not having the public persona where you're like literally in a live hoping people come in and talk to you slash like the stream or something like that. That gives you a lot of power, but uh, lots of good things that way. Uh, Garrett, did you watch the the promo video I put up for this campaign? Uh, it. I wonder. Yeah. Anyways, I think it was hilarious, but I sense some people may not. Yeah, we currently have 21 Dice Goblin peasants, which it's fitting that there's more peasants than the true nobility. Two Dice Goblins, 18 Dice Goblin Earls. We got 11 Dice Goblin Dukes. We got 4 Dice Goblin Kings, and we have 1 Dice Goblin Emperor. Yeah, it's on the Kickstarter. It's also on the YouTube channel as well as just a normal video. It has a thumbnail of me holding two things, and it says Kickstarter, and it says back now, I think. But a couple of my videos now have that. I probably should change that. But yeah, just a quick little silly promo. Might be worth checking out. Might not be, depending on uh, your views on life. But yeah, fun times. I don't think it is on the kid. What, if any, compromises did you have to make to overcome manufacturing issues? I didn't run into a ton of those uh, with dice fights because it's pretty basic components. With Terraform, I've ran into those time after time after time after time because it's more complicated. Um the originally the first like 10 manufacturers I talked to told me they couldn't do a cube as a box. They said, nope, we don't do that. Nope. And I was like, what? So I thought we were just gonna have like a rectangle box for dice fights, which would have been a shame because then you couldn't roll the box. Um, so that almost was scrapped because of that. But luckily, our final manufacturer was like, yeah, no problem. So I don't know what those guys' deals were. I think they just were like, you're a small fry. It's gonna be hard. You don't want to pay for it. Like, I do want to pay for it though. So, but like Terraform, I always wanted the pieces you lay down on the board to give the board depth, like have it go up, right? So as the game progresses, you could see the board shifting, right? And it would make the game so much more expensive than I already think it's going to be. So I've decided to just do the cards thing, which you know and love that way. Um, oh, I gotta get out of here, guys. So slap the like buttons one more time for me. Thank you so much. Please go check out the Kickstarter. Thank you for those who had already backed it. Thanks for checking in. I love the questions. I love the talk. I'll be on again throughout there. I recently found out that uh, all live time watched goes to watch hours, and so I'll probably be doing this a lot more to kind of get to that monetized section. But thank you so much, guys. Love that promo video is funny as hell. I like that. Keep it rolling, buddy. I can't wait to see the other game come out. Thank you so much. It's been awesome. We'll talk to all y'all later. Bye.